Have you ever considered that much of your unhappiness might not stem from your life circumstances, but rather from the story your mind tells you about those circumstances? This profound revelation can change how we perceive and react to life's challenges. In Buddhism, this idea is encapsulated in the concept of the second arrow. This arrow represents the actual negative event or experience. The pain we experience here is due to external circumstances that we are unable to control or avoid. We all grow older, fall ill, lose loved ones, get into conflicts, lose jobs, experience grief, and so on. This arrow, however, has to do with our reaction to the event, our thoughts. When we react negatively, such as through blaming, shaming, aversion, anger, and upset, we set off the suffering of the second arrow. It's this second arrow that makes us relive and keep reliving, an experience that only ever happened once. How to break the momentum of negative thoughts. Recognize harmful thoughts. Realize that certain thoughts are inherently detrimental to your well-being. They have no constructive purpose, serve no beneficial function, and ultimately only succeed in making you miserable. Recognizing these thoughts is the first crucial step towards mitigating their impact on your mental and emotional health. Consider a scenario where you are preparing for an important presentation at work. As the date approaches, you start to have thoughts like, "I'm not good enough to deliver this presentation," or "What if I mess up and everyone laughs at me?" These thoughts are not only unhelpful, but they also start to erode your confidence and increase your anxiety. You might find yourself dwelling on past mistakes or imagined future failures, which only serves to amplify your stress and self-doubt. Instead of focusing on these harmful thoughts, recognize that they are not rooted in reality, but are projections of your fears and insecurities. Acknowledge that these thoughts do not serve any productive purpose. They do not improve your presentation skills or prepare you better. Rather, they drain your energy and leave you feeling defeated even before you start. To combat this, shift your focus to thoughts that are constructive and supportive. Remind yourself of the preparation you have done and the skills you possess. Practice positive affirmations like, "I am well prepared and capable of delivering this presentation successfully," or "I have the knowledge and experience to handle this task." By replacing harmful thoughts with empowering ones, you can build your confidence and approach the presentation with a calmer, more focused mindset. Remember, the key is not to suppress these negative thoughts, but to recognize their harmful nature and choose not to give them power over you. Through mindfulness and conscious effort, you can learn to redirect your mental energy towards thoughts that uplift and motivate you, rather than those that bring you down. Observe your thoughts, become still, and start observing your thoughts. This practice, often referred to as mindfulness, involves paying close attention to the flow of your thoughts without judgment or attachment. The goal is to develop an awareness of the patterns and nature of your thinking. Imagine you are sitting in traffic, and you start to notice a flood of negative thoughts such as, "I can't believe I'm stuck here again," or "This is such a waste of time." Instead of getting lost in these thoughts and letting them ruin your mood, take a moment to become still and observe them. First, find a comfortable position and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. As you breathe in and out, allow yourself to become fully present in the moment. Start to pay attention to the thoughts passing through your mind, almost as if you are an outsider looking in. You might notice thoughts related to frustration, impatience, or even anger. Acknowledge these thoughts without judgment. Simply observe them as they arise and pass through your mind. For instance, you might think, "I am noticing that I am feeling frustrated about being stuck in traffic," or "I see that I am having a thought about wasting time." This practice helps you create a mental distance between yourself and your thoughts, reducing their power over your emotional state. By observing your thoughts in this way, you begin to see them for what they are: transient mental events that do not have to define your experience. You can recognize patterns in your thinking, such as a tendency to catastrophize or focus on the negative. Over time, this awareness allows you to respond to your thoughts more consciously, rather than reacting automatically. Through regular practice, you can develop a greater sense of control over your mental landscape. The simple act of observing your thoughts can lead to profound changes in how you experience and respond to life's challenges, helping you to maintain a more balanced and peaceful state of mind even in stressful situations. Redirect your attention. Withdraw energy from negative thoughts and direct it towards something else, such as your body, your breath, or nature. This redirection helps to break the cycle of negative thinking and brings you back to the present moment, fostering a sense of peace and clarity. Imagine you're sitting at your desk, overwhelmed by a mistake you made earlier in the day. Negative thoughts like "I always mess up and everyone must think I'm incompetent" keep replaying in your mind, increasing your stress and anxiety. Instead of letting these thoughts dominate your evening, you can practice redirecting your attention. Begin by shifting your focus to how your body feels from the inside. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Start with a body scan, moving your attention slowly from your toes to the top of your head. Notice any areas of tension or discomfort and consciously relax those muscles. Pay attention to the sensations in your body without judgment or the need to change anything. This practice anchors you in the present moment and draws energy away from your negative thoughts. You notice a tightness in your shoulders and a clenching in your jaw. As you focus on these areas, you consciously relax them, feeling the tension slowly release. Another powerful technique is to concentrate on your breath. Sit quietly and focus on the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your nostrils, or the rise and fall of your chest and abdomen. Notice the rhythm and depth of your breathing. If your mind starts to wander back to negative thoughts, gently bring your focus back to your breath. Counting each inhale and exhale can help maintain this focus. This practice not only calms your mind but also provides a sense of grounding. When you catch yourself ruminating, take a deep breath and focus on the sensation of air filling your lungs. Notice how your chest rises and falls with each breath. Count to 4 as you inhale, hold for 4, and then exhale for 4. If you have access to nature, step outside and immerse yourself in the natural world. Go for a walk in a park, sit by a tree, or simply stand on your balcony and observe the sky. Engage your senses by noticing the colors, sounds, and smells around you. Feel the ground beneath your feet and the air on your skin. Connecting with nature can be incredibly soothing and helps to redirect your attention from negative thoughts to the beauty and tranquility of the natural environment. Step into your garden or local park. Focus on the colors of the flowers, the sound of birds chirping, and the feel of the breeze on your skin. As you engage with these sensory experiences, notice how your negative thoughts begin to fade into the background. Jane, after a challenging day at work, found herself stuck in a loop of self-criticism. Instead of letting these thoughts dominate her evening, she decided to practice redirecting her attention. She lay down on her yoga mat and started a body scan meditation, noticing the tension in her shoulders and consciously relaxing them. She then focused on her breathing, feeling the gentle rise and fall of her belly. After a few minutes, she felt calmer and more centered. To further enhance her relaxation, she took a short walk in her garden, appreciating the vibrant flowers and the songs of the birds. By the end of her practice, her negative thoughts had significantly diminished, and she felt a renewed sense of peace. By consistently practicing these techniques, you can train your mind to let go of unproductive negative thoughts and develop a habit of focusing on the present moment, which leads to greater mental and emotional well-being. Connect with your aliveness. When you withdraw consciousness away from worry and unnecessary thinking and place it on your breath or the inner body, you connect with the aliveness within. Immediately, thoughts will begin to subside. Thoughts cannot survive if you take attention and consciousness, their lifeblood, away from them. Consider Sam, who often found himself overwhelmed by anxiety about the future. He constantly worried about potential problems that might arise, which led to sleepless nights and constant stress. One evening, instead of getting lost in these anxious thoughts, Sam decided to connect with his aliveness. He began sitting quietly in his living room, closing his eyes, and taking several deep breaths. He directed his attention to the sensation of his breath entering and leaving his body. As he breathed in, he felt the cool air filling his lungs. As he breathed out, he noticed the warm air flowing out. This simple act of focusing on his breath helped to anchor him in the present moment. Next, Sam shifted his focus to his body. He started by feeling the ground beneath his feet, then moved his attention up through his legs, torso, arms, and finally to his head. He noticed any sensations, whether it was the tension in his shoulders or the gentle heartbeat in his chest. Fully immersing himself in these sensations, he connected with the aliveness within his body. As he continued this practice, Sam observed that his anxious thoughts began to fade. They no longer held the same power over him. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of worry, he felt a sense of peace and clarity. For instance, Jane, after a challenging day, often found herself overwhelmed by stress. To counter this, she practiced connecting with her aliveness. She would sit comfortably, close her eyes, and focus on her breathing. She paid attention to the sensation of the air entering and leaving her nostrils, feeling her chest rise and fall. She then extended this focus to her body, noting any areas of tension and consciously relaxing them. Doing this, Jane felt more grounded and present. Her mind became less cluttered with worries, and she experienced a deeper sense of calm. This practice of connecting with her aliveness helped Jane to manage her stress effectively and maintain a balanced state of mind. What activities make you feel most alive and present? Think about moments when you feel fully engaged and connected with the present. It could be during exercise, spending time in nature, engaging in a hobby, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation. Can you incorporate them into your daily routine to help shift your focus from negative thoughts? Identify ways to make these activities a regular part of your life. Even a few minutes each day can make a significant difference in reducing stress and enhancing your overall well-being. Making a conscious effort to connect with your aliveness, you can develop a greater sense of presence and tranquility, allowing negative thoughts to lose their grip on your mind. This practice can transform your relationship with your thoughts and contribute to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Maintain awareness. Learn to keep dysfunctional thoughts at bay, not by suppressing them, but by being very alert and directing your attention elsewhere. Staying vigilant and proactive in managing your thoughts, you can cultivate a more positive and productive mindset. Consider Alex, who often found himself overwhelmed by negative thoughts before important meetings at work. He would think, "What if I say something wrong?" Or, "What if they don't like my ideas?" Instead of getting lost in these unproductive thoughts, Alex decided to maintain awareness and manage his mental focus more effectively. When Alex noticed himself slipping into negative thinking about the upcoming meeting, he didn't try to suppress these thoughts or fight against them. Instead, he acknowledged them for what they were, just thoughts, not facts. Rather than dwelling on what could go wrong, Alex redirected his attention to what he could control. He began preparing for the meeting in a focused and mindful way. This included reviewing his notes, practicing his presentation, and visualizing a positive outcome. If you find yourself thinking negatively about an upcoming event, such as a job interview, shift your attention to preparing for it mindfully. Focus on researching the company, practicing common interview questions, and planning your journey to the interview location. This preparation not only helps you feel more confident but also directs your mental energy towards constructive activities. During his preparation, Alex made a conscious effort to stay present. He used techniques such as deep breathing and short breaks to maintain his focus and calm his mind. Whenever he noticed his thoughts drifting back to negativity, he gently brought his attention back to the task at hand. Alex also practiced positive self-talk. Instead of allowing his mind to be consumed by doubts, he reminded himself of his skills, achievements, and the effort he had put into his preparation. This helped to build his confidence and reduce his anxiety about the meeting. Sarah, a student, often experienced anxiety before exams. Her mind would race with thoughts like, "I'm going to fail," or "I can't remember anything." Instead of letting these thoughts take over, Sarah decided to maintain awareness and redirect her focus. She started acknowledging her fears without judgment. Then, she shifted her attention to creating a study schedule, reviewing her notes, and practicing past exam questions. Focusing on these actions, she reduced the time spent on worrying and increased her preparedness. During study sessions, Sarah used mindfulness techniques to stay present. She took regular breaks to avoid burnout and practiced deep breathing exercises to calm her nerves. Reinforcing her confidence through positive affirmations, she was able to maintain a more balanced and productive mindset. How can you apply the practice of maintaining awareness to your daily life? Think about situations where you tend to have negative thoughts. What specific steps can you take to redirect your focus and stay present? Learning to maintain awareness and direct your attention mindfully, you can keep dysfunctional thoughts at bay and foster a more positive, focused, and resilient mindset. Embrace your consciousness. Breathe and feel your aliveness. Remember that you are not the narrative in your mind. You are consciousness itself, the intelligence that pervades your body and holds it together. Embracing this understanding can fundamentally shift your relationship with your thoughts and enhance your overall well-being. Consider Mia, who frequently struggled with self-critical thoughts. She often found herself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed." These thoughts would lead her into a downward spiral of negativity. One day, Mia decided to try a different approach by embracing her consciousness. Mia started sitting in a quiet place and taking deep, intentional breaths. She focused on the sensation of her breath entering and leaving her body, feeling each inhale and exhale. This simple act of mindful breathing helped her to center herself and connect with the present moment. She then shifted her attention to the sensations within her body. She noticed the beating of her heart, the tingling in her fingers, and the rise and fall of her chest. Tuning into these physical sensations, Mia began to feel a sense of aliveness that was independent of her thoughts. Mia reminded herself that she is not the critical narrative running through her mind. She is the consciousness that observes these thoughts. This realization allowed her to detach from the negativity and view her thoughts as transient and not definitive of her true self. When Mia caught herself thinking, "I'll never succeed," she paused and took a deep breath. She focused on the feeling of her breath and her heartbeat. She reminded herself, "I am not these thoughts. I am the consciousness observing them." This practice helped Mia to detach from the negative thought and not let it define her. John, who often felt overwhelmed by thoughts of inadequacy, decided to embrace his consciousness regularly. Each morning he spent a few minutes in meditation, focusing on his breath and bodily sensations. Throughout the day, whenever negative thoughts arose, he took a moment to breathe deeply and remind himself that he is more than these thoughts. He is the awareness behind them. Consistently practicing this, John noticed a significant improvement in his mental state. He felt less controlled by his negative thoughts and more connected to a sense of inner peace and strength. How often do you remind yourself that you are more than your thoughts? Reflect on your daily routine and identify moments when you can pause and remind yourself of this truth. It could be during your morning routine, a break at work, or before you go to bed. What difference does it make when you do? Consider how this practice changes your perspective and emotional state. Do you feel calmer, more grounded, and less affected by negative thoughts? Embracing your consciousness and recognizing that you are more than the narrative in your mind, you can cultivate a deeper sense of peace and resilience. This practice helps you to detach from negative thoughts and connect with your true self, leading to a more balanced and fulfilling life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Thanks for watching.